So, I have spoken my mind, and I've said all I have to say concerning this case. I suffer depression, but I speak up. I speak to people. I let people know how I'm feeling. I don't allow myself to get to that dark place or that dark place I got to in 2019. And 2019 I was able to survive because I spoke up. So please, don't suffer in silence. Speak up if you suffer depression.
Hola, Yoshman here. Come join me in sandwich if you care for some. Or better not, don't join me. So, feminism, male masculinity, toxic masculinity, progesterone and testosterone, whatever the case is. So, some people say feminism is hatred for men, but I don't see it that way. I feel in every 12 there's a Judas. In every gathering there's a bad person or there's something that is bad, okay? So in this context, I think we should look at feminism from the good side of it. And what's the good side? Gender equality, gender parity, gender balance, whatever is whatever fits the goods, whatever is source for the goods should be source for the gander. Whatever is accommodatable, whatever you can accommodate for the male should be accommodatable for the female. I think we should, when it comes to feminism, I think we should look at it as women trying to achieve balance, equality, parity, no double standards. Don't say it happened because this person is a man, or we're doing this because this is a man or this is a woman. No, it's not a man's world, neither is it a woman's world. It is our world collectively. We need the man and the woman to put heads together to move the world forward. Not the man's world, not the woman's world. It is our world. Good. Before I go on, I'd like to say thank you for the reception of the last episode. Got a lot of feedbacks, got a lot of correspondences, got a lot of acclaims and advices and what have you. So thank you very much. Please, like I said, and I will say again, be the springer to someone's churchman. A little hello, a little hi. How are you doing? How are you today? What's on your mind? What's your mind at? What's your current state of mind goes a long way, because depression, mental health issues is something we shouldn't take for granted. Okay, back to the discourse. I've heard people say women should keep quiet because it's in the Bible for them to, or it's in the holy book that they should keep quiet. For what? Excuse me. For what is what? That was then, not now. I will tell you that for every relationship I've been in, and what I appreciate about my woman is intelligence. I'm a sapiosexual. I'm very attracted to intelligence. I don't want a dumb blonde, a pipsqueak, a dim-wit for a partner or for a colleague in terms of the feminine gender. Okay? I want someone who can contribute, who can bring something to the table, whether it's in ideas, whether it's in resources, what have you. So stop telling women to keep quiet. Stop telling women what you have to offer. Instead of saying shut up, you should be saying sit down and what do you have to say. Instead of who invited you to this conversation, you shouldn't be saying that. You should be saying you're welcome, your input is regarded. Another thing you need to take note of, another thing I've noticed is this recent spate of groping and touching women indiscriminately, like you have the right to their bodies. You don't see any woman walk up to a guy in a market and start groping him, start pulling his manhood, his dick, his penis, because no man would obviously will find that interesting. No man will find that very appealing, instead appalling. So please, you need to desist from all these rights, whatever it is that men believe. Go and grope a woman, touch her breast, touch her butt, talk or speak in sexual innuendos towards a woman, like you have the right over her because you're what? You're a man. For what is what? The world runs on common sense. The world runs on sagacity. The world runs on a sense of belonging, and not your dick, and not your prick. This world is not ruled by testosterone. I'm a man, calm down. You're a man, and some of us can't provide for our family. Some of us leave the breadwinning to the woman. But you're a man. So for those of you who do the groping thing, this annoying thing that I've been seeing over social media, you need to stop. You need to desist. I know it's going to take more than this reality series. It's going to take more than just speaking and all that. It's going to take actions. And I know actions have been taken in the past and with no result. But I think it's time that the government of the day look into this. Because why should someone be afraid to go to the mall? Why should someone be afraid to go to the market to pick something, to buy something? Because they are afraid that a man would say some sexual nefariousness, would say some sexual heinousness to them, would grope them in the ass, would grope them in the breast. It shouldn't be so. People should not be afraid to go to wherever they want to go, because one of our fundamental human rights, one of a woman and even a man's fundamental human rights, is the right to movement. Let me take a bite. Okay, so desist if you are one of those people. Now, some have brought the argument, why should men be paid the same amount as a woman even if they are doing the same function? For what is what? If you bring 10 to the table and a woman brings 10 to the table, you deserve to be paid the same. Don't say because he's a man, he should be paid more, and he's a woman, he should not be paid more. If you think that is what you believe in, or if you're on that side of the divide, let me remind you, may I remind you that, interestingly, some of the countries of the world where Corona has been successfully, maybe not expunged, but Corona has been successfully taken care of, has been successfully managed, are run by women. Talk about New Zealand, talk about Germany. Those countries have women at the helm of affairs, and these women have successfully managed the pandemic in their country. Look at America. Yes, we have Biden now, but look at America before Biden. Trump was a man. Look at the UK, Boris Johnson. That's a man. But the places where the women are in charge, they have managed this pandemic. They managed the virus in their country. And this is me applauding them. Also, in sports, for example, tennis and football come to mind. Some have said, why should the male tennis star be paid the same, or why should the payment be equal between a male and a female tennis star? Further questions were asked, why are you disagreeing with equal payment between a male and a female tennis star? Those who are on that side of the divide say it shouldn't be so, because men play 3 sets out of 5. And if the game is so pulsating, if the game is so interesting, if the game is so tight, if it is back and forth, they go as far as 5 sets. Why women just play 2 out of 3? It's not the woman's fault that she's playing 2 out of 3. And it's not the man's fault that he's playing 3 sets out of 5. You decided it that way. You made the sport that way. So, if you want a woman to play 3 out of 5, I have not seen any female tennis star that has complained about that. But that is so. Thou art a feminist. Thou art feminist. Yes, I am. So what? Call me lily livered. Call me chicken livered. Call me shell of a man. Why would you be supporting gender equality? Why would you be speaking or standing up for a woman? You should be bros before hoes. It should be your men or your male folks. It should be testosterone before progesterone. It should be dicks before boobies. That's your business. The way you are allowed to your own chain of thoughts, that's the way I'm allowed to my chain of thoughts. I love to see and I want women to be independent. I want women to be intelligent. I want women to be ambitious. I want women to be go-getters. I want them to be resilient. Please, don't allow anybody tell you you can't attain this, you can't attain that because you're a woman. Don't allow anybody to use your gender as a woman to limit you. Okay? Please, 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 don't allow anybody to use gender as a bias, as a basis to limit you. The sky, they say, is the limit. For me, I say the sky is the stepping stone. Aim for the stars. I'm not going to go further and join those who say if you aim for the stars and you miss, you land on the moon. No, keep aiming for the stars. Keep aiming for the top. If you started at the bottom, have it at the back of your mind as a woman that you can make it to the top. Let me take another bite, please. This is delicious. Let's talk about the home front. It's very commonplace to see in a family where mommy says, Ada, Bosse, Awa, enter the kitchen. Sunday, Emeka, Danladi, go to the living room, cross your leg and watch Teletubbies and watch sports or whatever you do. It shouldn't be so. I once tweeted, and I always say it for every time I have the opportunity and platform to. I am glad that when it came to culinary, my parents or my mom especially did not exercise prejudice whatsoever. My male siblings, including myself, we can fix meals, at least the basics. Female siblings, obviously, they take the day, they are better cooks, but there's no male, both older and younger sibling of mine, who cannot fix a meal, and the women do not lag behind. So in my house, there was no prejudice. That is how it should be. In my house, there's nothing like boys will wash daddy's car, girls will sweep the floor. Anybody was given the chore to do. In fact, we had a timetable at home. Today it is A's day to sweep. Tomorrow it's B. Tomorrow is C. Not minding your gender. That's how it should be. Equality, parity, and not equality or prejudice. Okay, I'm saying okay a lot. I think it's now become one of my mannerisms, but that's by the ways. So, it is very important as individuals that from the home front, charity they say begins at home, and I think what's going to form our chain of thought, what's going to form our ideology, our psychology, our knowledge, our philosophy. Oh my God, don't crack it. Philosophy about life is going to start from the home front. So parents don't exercise prejudice at home. Parents don't say this is what a man should do or this is what the male children should do in the house and this is what the female should do. No. Sometimes scatter the status quo. Sometimes unsettle the status quo. You know, We live in a world where we need to be working, we need to be thinking outside the box. In fact, throw away the box. We live in a world where you should unsettle the status quo. Don't do things like it was done in the 18th century, because we no longer live in the 18th century. If life revolved around whatever happened in the 18th century, then we would have remained in the 18th century. There would have been no 19th, no 20th, and as we have it now, 21st century. So, like I mentioned the other time, sports. Some say, why should much investment be put into female football? After all, they do not generate much revenue as the male. But it was said that one of the highest income generator for FIFA was 2019 FIFA World Cup. In fact, it had more viewership. I think the final had more view. If I'm not mistaken, the final had more viewership than the previous editions. Every year, the viewership increases at a rate that cannot be compared, at a rate that the men do not even come close to. I, as an individual, sometimes I love to take a huge break from watching the males play and watch the female. Somebody that espoused this while we were in high school was, she's married now, Buki. At the time, she was Buki Olaoshewiko. In our final year team, the male team, she was one of the members and she was female. I like the fact that she wasn't sidelined or maligned back then because of agenda. We saw what she could do and she was put in the team. In fact, she walked straight into the first team and she did a very great job of being in the first team. In fact, she did the work, and also she didn't just talk the talk, she also walked the walk. I like the fact that there was no gender prejudice because we all saw what she could do with the ball. We also saw how capable, how ebullient she was in playing soccer. So I'm glad that we did not say you can't be part of the team because you are female. And I'm glad that she didn't go around doing bottom power just to be in the team. She showed what she could bring. She brought her A game when it was time, when it mattered. She showed what she could bring to the party, and because of that, she got into the team. So that brings me to another point. That ladies, women, powerful, strong women, please do not go around using your gender as a sorry or charity case to get things done. There used to be this term, bottom power. That is stupid. That is foolery. That is dumb effery. That is mind-numbing ideology. That should not exist, but be relegated to the abyss. Because how or why would you not want to use your head? Why would you not want to bring your sagacity? Why would you not want to bring your intelligence to the fore? Why do you feel that you have to use, as they say, what God gave you to get what you want because you're a woman? Really? Guys, like I mentioned, the guys should think with their head and not their dicks. Ladies, think with your head, mind, and not your vaginas or pussies. Thou art a feminist. Thou art feminist. I'm not ashamed to say I agree to those who are moderate and those who are well taught, excellent thinking feminists. I'm not a support to the extreme or radical feminism hating men. No. Because it takes two to tango. It takes two to ballet, or maybe more than two. It's a two-way street. If you say you are on the ride, you're on the path to 18 men, the men can also be on the ride on the path to 18 women. So it's going to be male chauvinist versus female chauvinist, misogyny versus androgyny, or whatever it is called. So women, brain power, resolute, resilient, go-getter, not vagina power, pussy power, ass, nyash power. I don't want in this 2021 or in this 21st century, you are still doing that. Show what you can bring to the table. And if after you've shown what you can contribute, what you can bring to the table, and they still turn you down based on gender, laugh at them in whatever way or manner you can and tell them to their faces, F you all, it's your loss, not mine. So I agree and I subscribe to gender equality, gender parity. No, and I say no to gender prejudice, gender discrimination, bottom power. It's a man's world. No, it's not a man's world. It's not a woman's world. It's our world. If it was going to be a man's world, I don't think the creator, the most divine, makes mistake. He would have created only men and found a way of how the world exists with only men. And what happens? World exists with only men, and how we're going to, you would have found a way of how we'll be reproducing. But no, the Holy Book says what? He that made them male and female. Just as it is with humans, mankind, so is it with animals. So is it in the animal kingdom, male and female. So this is the point where we need to be thinking. This is the point where we may need to bring their A game, when they need to come to the fore. You are in charge, women. You should be in charge of things that affect you, and you should be able to be in charge of things that affect the world. Let nobody relegate you to the back seat and say, somebody said. You should keep quiet. You should always be seen and not heard. You should always be docile. You should always be passive and not active. Own your sexuality. Own your sagacity. Own your resilience. Own your intelligence. Own your sexuality. I think I've said that, but I'm saying it again. Don't dress indiscriminately. Don't dress anyhow. Don't dress in a way that will entice, because that's the stupid excuse a man gives. It's not my fault though, it's the way she dresses. But I am very sure, and it's commonplace to see mad people, not trying to defame or trying to paint Nigeria in bad light. You see a lot of lunatics, female lunatics walk the streets, and some of them with no clothes. But you don't see a sane man go and rape such people. But someone who is clad, who is wearing clothes, you decide to go and rape. But someone that should have turned you on because you are seeing everything, both private and public, everything that should be private is public, and everything that should be public, I think, it still remains public. You don't go to rape such. Your mind doesn't play on you. You don't get aroused to go rape a naked mad woman or a naked lunatic, or someone who is dressed. Even when they try to dress in a way that will turn you off, you still get turned on. Bros, you need psychological evaluation. It's not only the people that are stealing money in Nigeria that need psychological evaluation. Even you yourself, you need psychological evaluation. So once again, thou art feminist. I agree. Call me names. Call me what you want, because I know by the time this episode is up, I will say don't listen to him. It's a shell of a man and all that. I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man. Does the president of any country need to announce that he's the president before everybody knows he's the president? So stop announcing you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, because actions speak louder than words. I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man. You're a pala cook. Besides all I've said, men, stop exercising or espousing domestic violence. Stop beating up women. If you feel so much charged, you're turbo, you're high on strength and power, Oshe or Gambasi. So I had to step out, and I'm back now. I was just checking if, you know, I have to be sure. Feel on his head, big head. Whatever, man. Okay, so gender equality, not inequality. Gender parity and not disparity. Brain power, power of the mind, not bottom power. Don't think with your head. Don't think, beg your pardon, don't think with your private, think with your head. So while I said men, stop engaging in domestic violence, you're beating up a woman for what? No matter how angry you are, you shouldn't. You know, I got to see firsthand when I engaged. For the first time in my life, I actually hit a woman, which was very, very wrong. I was apologetic about it back then, and I'm still apologetic about it now because it turned out nasty. It turned out messy. From then, I said to myself, I have never done this before that time, and I will never do it after this time. And so help me God, I have kept to that promise till date. No matter how pissed, no matter how angry a woman makes you, please do not lift your hands to hit a woman. It will shock you that the gender you think is defenseless, is weak, will turn out to be strong. And women, I know men will not speak out about this, but women, don't hit the men, or don't hit your man, or whatever the context or the situation is. While the man shouldn't hit the woman shouldn't hit the man. Because I know no man will come out, ego and what have you. But I'm just telling you, I don't want a woman who hits me, and I don't want to hit a woman, and I will never hit a woman again. Okay. So, I believe it's achievable. We can have a world where we are blind to gender. It's not a man's world, it's not a woman's world, it's our world. I think I can kiss my rest here. I'm really thinking deeply. Phil, do you have any point to add? Or do you think I'm missing out something? By the way, shout out to Phil, a great guy. It's the reason behind this unscripted or whatever series. He's the one who was on my neck too. You know, sometimes if you don't start something, you never can know how, you never can tell, or you will never know how far you can go with something. And just added, like, seems like yesterday, and look at the reception. So the most important thing is in starting. You see, a step, you know, the beginning of a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. So it's just a step, that is start. You never can know, you never can tell how far it will take you or how far it will go. You never can tell what the reception will be like. Thou art feminist, thou art a feminist. Gender equality, not inequality. Parity, not disparity. Think about these things. It's not a man's world. It's not a woman's world. It's our world. You don't have the right or the power over a woman's body, except maybe in marriage. Even in marriage, Sometimes you need consent. Don't grope a woman's ass. We don't I would not grope someone's sister's ass or breast. So stop groping our sisters, our daughters, who knows, our women's asses and breasts. She would not walk up to you and start sexual innuendos with you. She will not walk up to you and grab your dick in public and toss it around like it's pancake. So why do you feel you have the right to do that? And when she says no, which should mean no, because the last time I checked the dictionary, no doesn't mean yes, doesn't mean go ahead, doesn't mean assent. You call her names, slut shaming. She's a this, she's a slut, she's this, she's that. In Nigerian times, will show this one, that one. Like say you why the phone like say you never do them before. Why the phone like say you be virgin? Why is someone say you don't like sex? I feel for some people or some men. But we never eat that thing that will kill us. The forbidden fruit was what Adam and Eve ate, and they lost their place in the Garden of Eden. Ponder on these words, my dear men, women, because together we can make this world better. Together it's our world, not the world of a certain gender or another or the other gender. It takes two hands to come together to wash clean. Till next time, to the next episode. Please stay safe. Wear a damn mask for God's sake. Don't romance a mask. Don't trivialize a mask. Wear a damn mask. Joshman, over and out.